So good morning to everyone. Basically, some due to some work, that's why I am taking this class previously. So in short time, I informed you, but basically for that reason, I have to take this class. Otherwise, the class will be missed. So that's why I am taking this class now. So basically, today we will discuss the topic about the register transfer language and how it can be done. We will say that. Now the symbolic notation. Register transfer language is not the language. It is not the language. We know that. It is basically the symbolic notation. The symbolic notation used to describe the micro operation transfer among register is called the register transfer language. That means all the micro operation that transfer from register to register like this, to represent that we use register transfer language. Now it is basically not executed by the computer, because that's why I've said that register transfer language is basically what it is, the representation, using for the representation only. So it is not executed by the computer. And what is the term register transfer means? Now the register transfer means implies the availability of the hardware logic circuit. It is the means that the availability of the hardware logic circuit that can perform the stated micro operation. So that means which micro operation we perform, the availability for that, the availability of the hardware logic circuit, it terms refers to that. And the transferring the result of the operation to the same or another register. For that, for these micro operations, to perform this micro operation, the availability of the hardware logic circuit we term as the register transfer. And a register transfer language is a system for expressing in a symbolic form of micro operation. Symbolic form of micro operation. So register transfer language is a system for expressing in the symbolic form the micro operation sequences among the registers of a digital mode. So let, through an example, we will explain that. Now we have written add x, add x. Now what is this add x? Add x is basically, it is the data value. X is what? X is the memory location, address, that address. Now the data value that is stored at the address X is added to the accumulator, is added to the accumulator. Because why we are saying that accumulator? Now if there is nothing mentioned, if there is nothing mentioned, only like this statement is given, like operation and memory locations, the address of that memory location. X is what? X is the address of that memory location. And we are writing an operation add. Now, where this add operation will be performed, now where this value will be stored, we didn't know. So in that case, we already know for storing the temporary data, the temporary result, which register we use for storing the temporary data, that is the accumulator. So we will do what? This after the data value stored at address X, and after adding this value, with the now in accumulator, which value is stored? Addition of that, both addition, we will store it again where? We will store it again into the accumulator. This is what? This is the command. Now, what will be that for representation of this command in the register transfer language? If we use, then we will write X tends to MAR. Now, what is MAR? MAR is the memory address register. We know that memory address register is the special type of register. Memory address register is the special type of register which stores the address. That means X is what? X, the memory location's address. So we all know that if you instruction cycle, if you remember the instruction cycle, first what we done? Instructions address calculation. This is what? That the address is what? The address, we are transferring it into the memory address register first. Now, after doing that, in this memory address register, whatever the value is stored in that memory address register will be transferred to where? Will be transferred to the memory buffer register, MBR. That means memory buffer register is used for what? This is used for the data, storing the data, special type of register. So first we collect the address and that address is stored into the memory address register, and then we perform what? The in that particular address, what data is stored that are moved into the memory buffer register. Then what we'll do? We'll perform the addition operation. Through whom? Now, memory buffer register, we have collected that data. So that data we will perform with the accumulator. In accumulator, whatever the data is stored now, with this, the operations will be performed. And after this operations performance, we will transfer it into the accumulator register for temporary storing of that data. So this is the command, and in the backside, these are performed. If we write this command in backside, this will be performed. So that first address will be collected, stored into the memory address register, then particular address, whatever the data is stored, will go to the memory buffer register. We will collect that. And after that, we perform the addition operation with the accumulator and store the result into the accumulator. So this is the representation of the RTL language. This is the representation of the RTL. And this is what? This is the command we simply write. But in the backward, these are performed. So this is the operations, or we can say this is the sequence of operations. The RTL register transfer language, this is the sequence of operations we performed. Okay, clear? It is clear to everyone? Please respond, it is clear? Apeksha?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is what? This is the first example. So let's say we take another example. Now, like this, the command is written add #3, add #3 D2. Or let's say this can be written as that also, add D2 #3. Now, what this means? That means the data is directly given. The data is directly given. And this data is what? This data is added with the D2. In D2, whatever the data is stored, that data is added with the this 3, the data that is directly given. With this, the addition is performed. And storing where? Storing in D2. Now that means D2 is working like an accumulator. It is working like an accumulator if we write this like statement. Another one is the register transfer with control function. Register transfer with control function. Now, control functions means what? Conditional statement. We know that the conditional statement is present. So, conditional statement means what? Conditional statement is what? This will be if k equal to 1. That means if the k value can be 1 or 0. And depend upon that, the operations will be performed. If it is 1, that means this will be performed. But if it is 0, that means it is not performed. So let's say if k equal to 1 given, that means the operation will be performed. So if k equal to 1, then R1 will what? The data that is stored into the R1 will move to the R2 register. If it is k equal to 1, then only. But if it is not, then we didn't transfer. So RTL is basically the symbolic notation through which we can understand the sequence of micro operation. The sequence of micro operations we will able to know that through register transfer language. Now some basic symbols is used for the register transfer. So what are the symbols and why? The descriptions of it and examples we will see. So that is now first capital letters and numerals. Now for writing any register, we have to write it into the caps letter. This is the basic symbols and this should be followed. For writing, we have to use caps letter. Now description is what? If it is written in the caps or numerals, that means it denotes the register. Example, we have already seen that we have written like MAR to R2, MAR R2, like this. Because MAR is memory address register, R2 is another register. In each cases you see, we have written it as the caps letter. So if it is caps letter written, then that means it denotes the register. Now, if the symbol is parenthesis, if the symbol is parenthesis, that means description is what? It denotes the part of the register. That means what we have seen that for register, if it is RL, that means for low beats, RH, that is for the high beats. In that case, we have already said. Now, if it is written like that, R2, 0 to 7, that means 0 to 7, it is a representation of the low beats. And 8 to 15, sorry, not 16, because we are starting from 0. So that means from 8 to 15, it is for the high beats. So either we can write it like this, that R2L, or we can write it like this, R2 0 to 7. Two things, these two things mention the same thing, that it is what? It is for the low beats. And if we want to write the high beats, then what we will do? R2, 8 to 15. R2, 8 to 15, or we can write it like this, R2, H. We can write like this also, R2, H. That is the representation of the high beats. Okay, so parenthesis given means what? Denotes the part of the register. Register part we want to denote. And arrow we already know that for transfer of information, we use the arrow. We use the arrow for transfer of information. And that is R1 arrow R2. That means the data that is stored into the register R1 will be transferred to the register R2. That is the transfer. That is the data transfer. So arrow is used for the data transfer. And colon, colon is what? It denotes the termination of the control function. That means the control function is complete. The termination point. That whatever in previous example I have said, use that here, that is K, that here you see K dot R2 R1. That means that is ended. That is this denotes the control function's termination. This is the termination of the control function. And the last type is what? The last type is the comma. Now, comma is used for what? Comma is used for the separations of two micro operations. This is used for the separation purpose. So how we can know that these are the two different operations? So for different operations, we will do what? We will use the, for different operations, we will use here like comma. So this is an operation. This is another operations. We will able to know that. So this is some basic symbols used for the register transfer. Okay, it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these are all about our register transfer language. Now today we will start another topic, that is the timing and control. Now how basically a control unit, our control unit, how for a basic computer, so we have seen the computer, so for a basic computer, what are the components of the control unit present, we will know today. So basically components of the control unit present in the basic computers are, these are the components that is present in the control unit of our computer. That is one sequence counter, one control logic gate, and two decoders. So to perform or our control unit, the components, these are the components that are present in our system's control unit. Decoders, one sequence counter, and one logic gate. So totally these components will be present in the block diagram of the control unit. So when we will draw the block diagram of the control unit consists of this: two decoders, one sequence counter, and one control logic gate. Now, first, what we will do, the instruction is what? The instruction is read from the memory. Basically, the instructions is read from the memory and placed into the instructions register. This is what that first we read it from the memory. This instruction is written from the memory. And after read from this memory, we do what? We placed it into the instructions register. Now, after that, the instructions register will decode that instructions, and after decoding that instructions it will able to know what operations we have to perform, and it will check the operands. So this operands, it will then operands address calculations will be performed, and after performing the operands address calculation in that particular memory location, whatever the data is stored will again move to the instructions register. And after that, when we able to know that both are our operations, what operation should be performed, and what data we have already get from this operand's address calculation, and then operand fetch. After this operand is fetched, and then we will perform the total operation and store the result. This is what the instruction cycle begins. So that means first instruction should be read from the memory, and after this it will be placed into the instructions register. Now, this instructions register is what? This instructions register is the 16-bit register. Its length is 16-bit. Now, this 16-bit register is also what? This 16-bit is divided into three parts. This 16 bits is divided into three parts. Now, first, from 0 to 11 bit, from 0 to 11 bit of the instructions register is applied to control logic, is applied for control logic gates. For control logic gates, we applied for 0 to 11 means holds the address of the operand. So operand's address, what is the operand address for holding that? 0 to 11 bits are used, and these are applied to the control logic gate. This is applied to the control logic gate. Now, from 12 to 14 bits, these three bits defined the operation code. These three bits defined the operation code. That means operation code means what? What operation to be performed. That is what these three bits, 12, 13, and 14. These bits determine that that what operations to be performed. And the last bit, that is the 15th bit, this is the 1 bit because only the 15 bit. So 15 bit is what this has, or we can call it as the I bit. So now you know that there is some addressing mode I will discuss later, but this is what this is used for, this addressing mode determination. Now we have two address mode, that is indirect addressing mode, and another one is the direct addressing mode. These are the two addressing mode present. Now if this bit is 1, that means I is equal to 1. This bit we can also call it as the I bit. So if it is 1, that means and if it is direct addressing mode. Now, I bit is what? It is 1 bit. So that means the 15th bit is used for the instruction transfer to flip flop designed by the symbol I. It works like the I. It will work like the I. And the operation of 12 to 14 bits, this operation of 12 to 14 bits are decoded with the 3 into 8 decoder. So it is given as the input of 3 into 8 decoder. Now the operations to be performed are inputted to this decoder, and this will generate what? This will generate 8 output of the decoder, which will be D0 to D7. And this D0 to D7, total 8 output, will be connected to the control logic gates. And in the timing and control, there is one sequence counter of 4 bits, and output, the output timing signal, there is 6 bits. They that now once counter is clear to count is 0. What is the diagram? See, this is the diagram. Control unit of the basic computer. This is what the control unit, the basic computer looks like. Now, this is the instructions register that talking about, that from 0 to 11 is divided from 0 to 11. Then from 12 is the bit. Now 0
Voice
to
is
7
breaking.
is you. Now was is king. My voice is. Are you able to hear it? Are you able to hear it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically, what control unit of a basic computer, we have already written that the instructions register is present. So instructions register for 11 bits 0 to 11 bits will go as a what? 0 to 11 bits will go combination is 0 to 11. This is what? This will directly go to the combination control in bit. This 2 to 4 bits is this 2 to 4 bits will inputted as the 3 into 8 decode. That is the 3 34 this bit. This will as input this go input of in it will go input of the 15 bit. So 15 bits noted as the mean what? One. It is indexing. So this is what is here also in combination logic gate. And what we said sequence counter is present. That is the sequence counter is present. Sequence counter is what? This sequence counter will do is with the 4-bit sequence counter. So 4-bit sequence counter means what? This 4-bit will go as the input. Is this 4-bit sequence counter? This will go as the input of another decoder, that is 4 into 16 decoder. So it will go as the input of this. And there will be total 16 outputs. So 16 output means what? 16 output means from 0 to T15. The timing signals will be produced. And this is also go as the combination control logic circuit. And it will be other inputs are also be here controllers and the now so first I have said that this is the two decoder. One another one is the 4 into 16 decoder. A sequence count isn't this is the sequence count that is present in the So sorry for the convenience, some network issues occur. That's why there is a problem occur. So the discussions here that here it is the total 4-bit sequence counter. So that means one sequence counter is present and one control logic gate. So this is the control logic gate we have. So this is the control unit of the basic computer. One combinational control logic gate will be present. Two decoders, one is 3 into 8 decoder, another one is the 4 into 16 decoder. Two decoder and a sequence counter. This is the sequence counter. So sequence counter will do as input of this 4 into 16 decoder and 12 to 14 bits. This will be what? This will be as the, okay. So I will again explain it. So basically is what? Basically you see, this is the instructions register. So we have know that instructions register is divided into 3 parts. From 0 to 11, this is for holding the address of the operands, and this will be applied directly to the control logic gates. So 0 to 11 is directly applied to the combinational control logic gate. From 12 to 14, these 3 bits, this 3-bit does what? This is for holding the operation code. What operations to be performed? When the instructions came in the instructions register, then it is divided into these 3 parts. Part 0 to 11, holding the address of the operand. For this, it is used and it directly goes to the combinational control logic. From 12 to 14 bits, it is used for holding the operation code. That means what operation to be performed. That is for holding these 3 bits is used. And the 15 is used for what? This 15 bit is used for either it is indirect address or it is direct address for determining that indirect addressing mode or direct addressing mode. Now, this 0 to 11 will directly go to the combinational control logic gate. But this 12 to 14 bits, it is the 3 bits. So these 3 bits will go as an input into the 3 into 8 decoder. So these 3 inputs, it gets this decoder gets this 3 input and the 8 output produced. So 8 outputs will be produced because 3 into 8 decoder is it. So 8 outputs will be produced and this 8 outputs from D0 to D7. This will be go to the combinational control logic. And the 15 bit is I bit, it is 1 or 0. So it is here 1 mention. So that means 1 mention means what? It will be indirect addressing mode. 1 means it is indirect addressing mode. So it will go to the indirect as an indirect addressing mode and it will also go to this combinational control logic. And here a sequence counter will be present. This is the sequence counter is of 4 bits and this sequence counter will go where? This sequence counter 4-bit sequence counter in its input will go to the 4 into 16 decoder as a 4 input. So this is the 4 input getting from this 4-bit sequence counter. And this 16 outputs will be produced. This 16 output from T0 to T15, these are the timing signals. So these timing signals will go to the combinational control logic and the control signals which will produce. Okay. So now it is clear, the diagram. It is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
So this is now this timing signals based upon this, the timing diagram has done. So
Yes, sir.
not today. In the next class, I will describe about this timing diagram. So from how this timing diagram will produce, we will see it in the next class. So thank you everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.